performance contract of ministries by the Chief Minister, Dr. David Moini Nasenge. It shows strong performance in lots of ministries then. So waiting drive these factors and waiting actually change in service delivery from 2024 to 2025 last year. We will look at very soon inside the Epic Morning Show. And in the second segment of the Epic Morning Show today, Marion Precious George will review the biggest stories from yesterday. We also get sports and entertainment news lined up for you in this 2.5 hour long broadcast. My name is Usman Ibrahim Mara. Stay with us. Good morning again. Today, another opportunity for rise, for reset, and for remember yourself every single morning that your dreams are still very, very valid. Life may not always go the way you plan, but every new morning, I tell you, now a proof for say we get another chance for try again. Not allow yesterday in struggle for still today in energy. Stand up, stay focused, work hard, and believe in yourself every single morning, even when nobody else not they do them for you. Remember this: the difference between the one them way they succeed and the one them way they give up is very simple. They keep going. People we want for succeed in the future, they continue for the goal every morning, for continue for be resilient and work very hard. So wherever you are this morning, on the road, at work, in school, or in the house, carry courage into your heart and determination in your mind. Today might just be the day everything begins to change for you. Go out there and have a productive day. This is the Epic Morning Show. Stay with us.
Important issue them where they affect Salon and the world. The Epic Morning Show, they set the agenda for the day by way for look inside social, economic and political environment and self bring interesting topic them when need critical answer and solution them. We they bring the issue them come to UNU with just one agenda when are for serve the people with all the answer where they need. Tune in to the Epic Morning Show.
Epic Radio 99.2.
Fast to win. It's your best chance to grab your luck with 1xBet.
You don't ready for win big money every single day? Epic Radio make them happen with Bomba Cash Out. For just 10 years no more, you can enter the draw and win more money right inside your phone. No stress, no waste time, and now so you go take joy. That's star 799 star
Epic
2
Radio.
and choose how much tickets you want from 1 to 10. Enter your orange
Epic
money or
Radio.
Afri money pin, and boom, now you that. You don't enter the draw. The more tickets you buy, the higher chance you get for win. And the best part of that, if they pick your number, the money that goes straight inside your orange money or Afri money wallet. You don't even need for Canada station. So, what do you they wait for? Dial star 799 star 2
Epic
now
Radio.
and continue for listening to Epic Radio. If you know one of the lucky daily winners then. For more information, call the support center on this number yaso 032-300-033. Number cash out. Money
Epic
they
Radio.
powered by Maslink Limited. This was a purpose to whether under 18 or so learn responsibly. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, you're highly welcome back to the Epic Morning Show. We're live on Epic Radio 99.3 FM. We're live in the eastern part of Freetown via Choice FM. We're live on the World Radio app, that's Radio Garden. We also do live on the website, that's www.myepiconline.com. As a parent, waiting need the give picking for healthy growth. Benimix na the answer. Made from local grains, with them packed with 14 essential vitamins for the brain and body. No cooking, no stress, enjoy maternity time. Just make sure say BFC is on the pack. Benimix, grow strong, grow smart. You there with the Epic Morning Show. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. Reginald is here with the latest breaking news. Reginald, what is the latest this morning?
Thanks, Usman Ibrahima. Good morning, and good morning to listeners of the Epic Morning Show, and also viewers on Facebook and YouTube. Straight up into with breaking news highlight. The leader for With Duty organization and also a musician and entrepreneur, Zainab Sharif, being denied bail again after making fourth appearance yesterday at the Pademba Road Magistrate Court number 1 before Magistrate Mustafa Ibrahim Jah. Well, Zainab Sharif being continue for answer to question on things that we get for day with public insults and other related charges. And yesterday again, we see Usai be represented by batteries of lawyers.
Yes.
But again, bail denied and matters adjourned to the 18th of March, Usman.
Yeah, the very big lawyers, Adi Macaulay, former ACC commissioner under the APC, Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara also was representing.
Well.
Yes, and we also see some leaders of the APC like Yvonne Akisoya, the mayor of Freetown. Dr. Richard Conte was also there in support of
Pepito,
yes. Yeah, a lot of them. So the support from the APC we see that they grow as the court proceedings they come on. But however, now though people have been questioning the court decisions, why for the very fourth term deny bail to Zainab Sharif. But the people out there we are members of the With Duty movement where Zainab Sharif they head say they not feel sad about this particular issue at this very critical time that the court proceedings they continue, that they look forward for waiting the court go say during the next hearing.
Exactly, it should be on the 18th of March 2026. Away from that one, the Sierra Leone Police, Usman Dor, released the 2025 crime statistics report. So the report very lengthy. I'll just give you a summary of the report, and then we go basically look at bit by bit during the second segment with Marion Precious George. But overall crime situation in 2025, according to the Sierra Leone Police, Usman, they say they recorded a total of 34,066 criminal and road traffic offenses, result in an overall crime rate of 0.38%, we compare to 0.33% we then record in 2024. So this shows we get an increase of 0.5% point, indicating a continued upward trend in crimes nationwide.
So crimes increase
exactly
by
0.5 and
large
scale. 34,666 for criminal and road traffic offenses is a huge amount of crime cases. And according to the report, it shows the eastern region that they record the highest number of crime. In fact, and get almost 50% of this total number.
Are you surprised for say Eastern come up?
Well, normally, say when you talk about Eastern, a place where people can take and say the one the way they maybe some of them kind of flawless or so. But I think the reports they show this is not what we are saying. This is a report coming from the Sierra Leone Police Corporate Affairs Department, and it shows an upward trend in the eastern part. In fact, increase by over how many percent? Because last year they get about 12,000, and this year they are going close to 16,000 crimes, which is also very, very huge.
We hope for one day get the IGP William Salon at the studio for asking these soft questions. Them why we know they see a downward trend instead of they see an upward trend. In as much as we've been seeing Salon Police boasting of service delivery over the course of the past 3-4 years since it become IGP. But this is very worrisome. If crimes they increase, then lots of international businesses not going for established salon, given the fact that they're not going to get confidence in them properties, them foresee them will be safe. So we need more efforts from the salon police in curbing crimes across the country.
And then Usman, we also received this one last night from Yusuf Keketuma Sandi, when at the press secretary. Now the office of the president, now states host, according to a post the Global Partnership for Education, is according to Yusuf Keketuma Sandi, said the Global Partnership for Education don't announce alone President Julius Maada Bio as a champion for sustainable education financing. He also he posted this come out from Washington DC, and he said the Global Partnership for Education GPE please for announce his Excellency Julius Maada Bio, President of Sierra Leone and current chairman of ECOWAS, as the GPE champion for sustainable financing for education. And he also put the last part of our go just take say as the world faces rapid technological change, economic uncertainty and climate pressure, investing in education is essential for building a resilient society and inclusive economy. Yet more than 270 million children and young people remain out of school globally, and millions more are not acquiring the foundation skill they need to thrive. So Usman, the press secretary saying President Julius Maada Bio has been acknowledged as a champion for sustainable education financing as well. I don't know if this comes as a surprise.
Well, not come as a surprise. This government, over the course of the term, done give huge allocation to education. President Bio enforced a flagship now be free quality school education. According to government, a lot of people begin for good school. The enrollment skyrocket, and up until the moment they say it's still increasing. They decrease. Yeah. So I think that is commendable, given the fact for say this now for the long term. I mean, if you educate them today, now for the future of the country. So this award, this recognition coming internationally,
it just gonna be one of the few, and they will don't be added again.
Yes.
So the president as well. So I think Usman, that's all we'll look at for now in the breaking news highlight, and more of those stories will be handled in the second segment by my own Precious George.
All right, Reginald, thank you. It's still with the Epic Morning Show. We're going for a very short break. Stay with me on all the major social media handles, them 99.3 FM and Choice FM.
Wake up to important issue them where they affect Salon and the world. The Epic Morning Show, they set the agenda for the day by way for look inside social, economic and political environment, and self bring interesting topic them when need critical answer and solution them. We they bring the issue them come to UNU with just one agenda when for serve the people with all the answer where they need. Tune in to the Epic Morning Show every Monday to Friday 7:30 to 10 o'clock in the morning on Epic Radio 99.3 FM as we bring in Master Sabi people for come discuss all the important issue them where they happen in the country. You can watch me live now with Facebook page when at Epic Radio 99.3 FM and surf on Slick TV channel 37. Epic Morning Show with a serve on the hot one. So important issue them where they affect Salon and the world. The Epic Morning Show, they set the agenda for the day by way for look inside social, economic and political environment, and self bring interesting topic them when need critical answer and solution them. We they bring the issue them come to UNU with just one agenda when for serve the people with all the answer where they need. Tune in to the Epic Morning Show every Monday to Friday 7:30 to 10 o'clock in the morning on Epic Radio 99.3 FM as we bring in Master Sabi people for come discuss all the important issue them where they happen in the country. You can watch me live now with Facebook page when at Epic Radio 99.3 FM and surf on Slick TV channel 37. Epic Morning Show with a serve on the hot one. To important issue them where they affect Salone and the world. The Epic Morning Show, they set the agenda for the day by way for look inside social, economic and political environment and self bring interesting topic them when need critical answer and solution them. We they bring the issue them come to UNU with just one agenda when for serve the people with all the answer where they need. Tune in to the Epic Morning Show every Monday to Friday 7:30 to 10 o'clock in the morning on Epic Radio 99.3 FM as we bring in Master Sabi people for come discuss all the important issue them where they happen in the country. You can watch me live now with Facebook page when at Epic Radio 99.3 FM and surf on Slick TV channel 37. Epic Morning Show with a serve on hot one.
Just over a week ago, or nearly a week ago, released the 2025 government performance contract of ministries them. And it's very shocking for many, given the fact, for say, there have been a decrease in government allocations, for these ministries. We still see an upward trend in the performance of these ministries them. Most shockingly is President Bio's flagship under the ministry where they handle President Bio flagship. That's the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, scoring 100% in service delivery. Within the chief minister actually used, which indicates what them he used for each other that points they're saying that the agriculture ministry score 100%. That's now the best performing ministry in government. We also get other ministries them, like the Ministry of Water Resources, we score 93.7%. Foreign Affairs Ministry, 92.8%. Even as much as we get issues them internationally, one we get for do with the U.S. visa ban and the cross-border tensions them we see happen just last year and this year too between Salone and Guinea. In as much as all of those facts are, according to the Chief Minister, this last year, the term will be get that cross-border tension between Salone and Guinea and perhaps also the U.S. visa ban on Salone. With all of those on the table, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs still score 92.8%. And then we get the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning, we, according to Chief Minister in performance contract for 2025, score 92.7%. The Ministry of Fisheries score 91.4%. And the Transport Ministry, Ministry of Transport and Aviation, score 90.7%. All of that as we see the cost for transportation increase last year by a very, very wide margin. We see also the Chief Minister saying the Ministry of Justice score 90.7% and the Energy Ministry score 66%. All of that as we get huge blackouts them happen across Freetown just last year due to the issues we government gets with the car power ship. The Ministry of Energy, according to the Chief Minister, score 66%. Score 66%, apologies. And President Bio, one of the flagship, when the Ministry of Education, the Free Quality School Education, score 62.8%. Why we see other ministries them perform so exceptionally well, we see lots of them they in 90s. But we see one of the flagship of President Bio, just with the talk just now saying President Bio has been recognized for being a global leader in education financing. Why the Ministry of Education, Basic Education, score just 62%, and we get upward trend in all other ministries. We will pose these critical questions them today very soon. And according to the Chief Minister, Cabinet conclusions for 2025 implemented was 58%, and the overall score for all ministries is 78%. So we look at the service delivery on the ground and waiting day on the paper. This is not the Epic Morning Show. We're live on Epic Radio 99.3 FM. We're live in the eastern part of Freetown via Choice FM, live on the website at www.myepiconline.com, and of course on the World Radio app. That's Radio Garden. Stay with us.
Wake up to important issue them where they affect Salon and the world. The Epic Morning Show, they set the agenda for the day by way for look inside social, economic and political environment, and self bring interesting topic them when need critical answer and solution them. We they bring the issue them come to UNU with just one agenda when are for serve the people with all the answer where they need. Tune in to the Epic Morning Show every Monday to Friday 7:30 to 10 o'clock in the morning on Epic Radio 99.3 FM. As we bring in Master Sabi people for come discuss all the important issue them where they happen in the country. You can watch me live now with Facebook page when at Epic Radio 99.3 FM and surf on Slick TV channel 37. Epic Morning Show with a serve on no hot one. Up to important issue them where they affect Salon and the world. The Epic Morning Show, they set the agenda for the day by way for look inside social, economic and political environment, and self bring interesting topic them when need critical answer and solution them. We they bring the issue them come to UNU with just one agenda when are for serve the people with all the answer where they need. Tune in to the Epic Morning Show every Monday to Friday 7:30 to 10 o'clock in the morning on Epic Radio 99.3 FM as we bring in Master Sabi people for come discuss all the important issue them where they happen in the country. You can watch me live now with Facebook page when I
You're highly welcome back to the Epic Morning Show. Introducing Ron Robin Fale, Director of Communications, Community Relations and Citizen Engagement at the Office of the Chief Minister, State House. Good morning, Mr. Fale. Welcome to the Epic Morning Show.
Good morning, Epic Radio, and good morning, Fambuda, all would listen. Good morning, Unakusheo.
Yeah, let's get straight into the details now. Take me through within the Chief Minister office, the metrics them with the Chief Minister office use in concluding this upward trend in performance for these ministries.
What do you say, awkward?
Upward, I say.
Okay. So you question what's in the metrics we then use?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, at least you don't start on for say awkward.
No, I'm saying, excuse me, I say upward trend in performance of these ministries.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I think this is part of good governance. You know, I tell myself thank you for the opportunity they give for they reach out to the people in many ways, and one of the ways now this one they provide. I tell thank you, and Epic Radio instead will give us some star for what you want to do for take things then to the people. Thank you very much for that. The performance contract, all no say the one that we are aware, not say if we don't talk about government come, government go. But again, in 2024, President Julius Maada Bio signed the performance management contract with all ministries, departments, and agencies. Then, saying that they're responsible for service delivery to the people, to owner. When are the people then where they vote for government, and so it's very, very important, and it's like a structured framework, where they help for strengthening accountability, transparency, and efficiency in service delivery and governance. Very, very powerful tool, and so it gets specific objectives that we then can set. It just like a company like we get Orange, then get the service charter. For say this is what we want to achieve to the people, to the customers, then and the customers then go able to hold them accountable for what they do and what they know they do. So performance management contract now basically now then kind structured framework to them where any establishment where or institutions them we go able use for measure their own services, then what they deliver, measure their own performance, and the people themselves go able to hold them accountable. So coming to that, in 2024, President Julius Maada Bio, he signed that contract there with ministries, departments, and agencies. The heads them, ministers them, sector heads them, and then they, and they all come, they sign and they all get copies. 2024 in Duam, 2025 back again. I would all do so this year. And so the chief minister in office, is there as the coordinating wing, like the coordinating hub. A day for supervise, a day for coordinate, a day for facilitate, and the head for monitor. So it gets one whole strategic wing where you get a lot of experts then they the ministry, where now so are the header, where then need for them in line, and they contact their ministry departments and agencies there, so that they always go give them work plan to them, and out of that work plan they will get indicators there. So if you come, as I say, the chief minister in office will help for implement them here, for evaluate them, and for evaluating contracts then there. And out of that one day, say President Julius Maada Bio, where people that will be asked for a second time, it been develop a manifesto. That manifesto then I promise, I contract with outside with the people. Say A, B, C, Z. 9 gonna go vote for me for 9 are going to do. And one of the things that we be talk about is say it go making governance be accountable and transparent and open, so that people then go be committed to service delivery to the people. And inside that one day, inside that manifesto promises then you see say it get targeted areas then where they been make talk about fishery when most predominantly agriculture, the human capital development.
On the side we talk about feed salon. Agriculture ministry, it was very striking. Agriculture ministry score 100%. This now we waiting government expects the performance. Now this government will expect all the time. 100%. The time where we in feed salon. Now waiting government to promise the people.
If you ask me that first question we ask,
the metrics,
say which metrics then we use. So I just want for my people that know waiting we take into cognizance for me could then do this assessment here. Because you want to get test to person, you get for game you get for make waiting for the syllabus, waiting for study for, and out of that and you get for test up. So that make up why explain this one to that. So what I say is like agriculture, human capital development, public sector reforms, education, and anything and they. Now those areas then they. But out of all them 5 areas then they also develop 17 indicators them. Indicators them we are in. We therefore look at cabinet papers. How many cabinet papers them they're able to put forward? How many ministerial agreements then they were they sign? How many ministerial implementations? How many management meetings they were they all? How many service delivery when are under the service charter, domestic revenue generation, we very, very key because with all what they do now money, audit queries them because we talk about, corruption, fight against corruption and accountability. We talk about engagement with the citizens them, like the entire meetings them or other things them, how the ministries and they do, or reach out to owner. And good governance, and we also they talk about procurement processes and annual work plan. So all that one day that they put them together and develop an annual work plan. And that annual work plan is for they in line with the medium-term development plan. We're in 2024 to 2030. Of course, at 2039, government say we were able to become a medium-income country. But the first phase it will be 2024 to 2030. So all that here, so then go develop an annual work plan where then we will look at those activities. What have we achieved so far in terms of cabinet papers? How many cabinet papers the ministries they don't put forward? How many they don't approve? How many ministerial agreements they don't sign? How many they don't implement? How many meetings they don't hold? How much domestic revenue have you generated for example, Ministry of, So all them things then they take for make sure they reach them. And how do they reach them? The evidence reports where they produce from their ministries here with the Carnival ministry, also with the verified output. So for determining that one day, the output over the minimum target they would have set multiplied by 100. Now that they take for determine the percentage where the ministries then get. So if you ask me now about the Ministry of Agriculture, they look at Ministry of Agriculture. Waiting they don't do in terms of cabinet papers. How many cabinet papers they don't bring down to cabinet where they don't approve? Out of that one, how many ministerial agreements they don't sign where they don't begin implement? Out of that one, which are the service delivery where they don't begin to do? For example, in terms of fertilizer, how much fertilizer they don't give, and then riverland areas them in terms of rest that they produce. For example, Cambia, Nada Kichom area, Nada Samu area. How much rest don't begin commodity?
How much for last year? How much rest the Ministry of Agriculture produce?
Yeah, we're looking at that now. Not to Ministry of Agriculture in SSF, but in supporting farmers. For example, let's look at Kichom area, the Samu area, we're not for Cambia. We're in one of the red rice belt areas there. Last year alone, they give over 5,000 bags of fertilizers to the people. Now, if you go there now, the rest price will be they're not use a buttercup 7 and salmon cup. Salmon cup na 3,000 euros for 1 cup. One whole bag winner about 240 cups and day. Now about 700,000 euros. That one rest when a big quality rice where you take them abroad. You don't see rice price don't go down as compared to how it been done. They go over 1 million euros. You don't see now, and then you get with cocoa price don't begin to steady. The price of cocoa don't begin to go. You go now, people then you see young man they buy bikes them. You see the productivity they go. You see say back again. So a lot of indicators then where they should say yes. We don't become a rice sufficient country yet. But in terms of importation of rice in the country, it don't reduce. In terms of the price of a bag of rice, it only reduce considerably. Those are indicators, and those are the things where they filter down at the pocket of me and you. So those are the issues. Not to say now, Ministry of Agriculture get for produce that too. But if you look at now the trend, at least they don't do reasonably well. So that 100% where they give them, not to because of party business, not to because they're fine, not to because they don't say yes, all the indicators, or the 70 indicators and they wouldn't do, they achieve all that one day. Wait and do them, we now then take for determine the performance. And that is what this whole thing is about. Not say rest price, we will become rest sufficient inside this 1 year, but progressively.
But if we not achieve all of this, in the agriculture sector in full, how come they get 100%?
That's what I'm saying. Based on the activity and work plan, I don't say out of the manifesto, they get a work plan where they do for every year. It's like picking, you get class from 1, SS1, GSS1, SS2, GSS3. You get syllabus where they achieve. GSS1, which are the syllabus, activity and syllabus we achieve before they go GSS2. So it depends on the syllabus. If you the teacher, if you don't achieve all that one day in GSS1, that syllabus, they don't achieve 100%.
All right. So the Ministry of Agriculture in full for 2025, all of them the stated objectives them for the year 2025 were fully achieved. Did they say?
Yes, we then present for say these are the activity plan, and these are the things that we would use for determine the performance for that period day. This year back again, then get other one where they set. So as progressively over the period between now 2024 and 20, you see waiting government go able to achieve in the area of food security, particularly food cereal.
Okay, Mr. Fale, thank you. Let me just take this from the Chief Minister, Dr. David Moinina Senge, where we outline the performance contracts for how ministries then perform for the year 2025.
Hi, the government's done with the 2025 ministerial performance contract. The performance contract, they measure about 17 areas. They measure how many cabinet paper, how many cabinet conclusion people that they implement, ministerial agreements signed, ministerial agreements implemented, and management meetings, service delivery, domestic revenue they raise, audit queries, engagement with citizens, and then compliance with procurement. So good governance. And the way they calculate score then, we get the minimum target, what they set, and so the ministry then they give evidence, then reports, then we verify them, and so the verified output divided by the minimum target times 100 and a good percentage. The overall percentage across all the ministries are 78%. Then if you compare them to last year, better this year past last year, if you look at the cabinet conclusions implemented, over 58.8%, a jump of 124%. Ministerial agreements implemented 56.9%, compliance response to audit queries 76.9%. So we really want to say thank you to the ministry then. Obviously people want to know how ministry then perform. Ministry of Agriculture get 100%, and they get Ministry of Water Resources, we get 93.7%. And Ministry of Foreign Affairs get 92.8%, Lands Housing 92.7%, Fisheries and Marine Resources 91.4%, Transport and Aviation 90.7%, the AG and Ministry of Justice 90.7%, Mines and Mineral Resources 90.7%. The average, that's 78%. The ministry, then we get plenty work for the Ministry of Works and Public Administration 52.1%. All manpower about 50%, but then they low on the lower side. Tourism, culture 55.8%. And then basic education 62.4%, and public administration 64.9%, Ministry of Energy 66%. So then they on the downside of the comparison. If you look at what I say, 89 of the cabinet paper then. 89 cabinet paper they approved. We get 145 ministerial agreements signed, 53.1% compliance on the service charter, 72.1% compliance on procurement process. Up to 18 ministries they achieve above the 80%. And the one that we fully comply, transport and aviation, lands, water resources, and youth. Audit queries, 76.9%. And annual work plan, compliance, 74.5% compliance. Which will they try for do, therefore continue for do transparency and get citizens there all man for no waiting still do. Congratulations to all man, to every ministry, to every MDA, to every citizen for where we hold each other accountable. At least we may move it together where we live.
All right, here with Melvin Tijan Mansari, journalist. Melvin, good morning. Welcome to the Epic Morning Show.
Thank you very much for getting me on the program. Famulon Akushe.
Melvin, what do you make of this overall government score? 78%, and with a decrease in allocation for these ministries from 2024 to 2025, we see a decrease in allocation for all these ministries. It's when we see the decrease in the allocation, we see an upward in the performance. What do you make of the ministries, how they performed last year?
By the way, I just say kudos to the office of the chief minister and all the one that we put the reports together. I think the report makes for a good academic reading, but whether it reflects the reality on the ground is a matter of which will unravel shortly. Firstly, in general, I think the report, like it states, they geared towards setting KPIs within a time frame winner, in this case the period 2025, and in so doing I think for once we get an idea. I was just looking up the State House website again for see what are some of the things will be outlined for them for the year, but the report seemed not for the come up. But in terms of the reality and reflection of the facts, let me just begin by firstly saying that I don't go through the report. Thanks, I get them directly from the Chief Minister SSF. Thanks so much to Ram. And I think firstly, on the subject matter, before I come to my notes, we're now agriculture, the report contrasts or contradicts what global credible institutions, for example, on agriculture and food security. If you look at the World Food Program, their website, and the Sierra Leone country profile, it says 78% of people are food insecure, 26.2% of children are stunted, 300,000 children receive school meals each day. What is that saying? Is that saying that agriculture has performed? Even if you try to argue based on what you say now your own benchmarks, but those benchmarks were meant to accelerate achievements with the midterm national development plan, which is also tied to the sustainable development goals. So there is no way you can divorce, say, well, this is not what will be set for reserve. So that is for agriculture. But on my notes, I think, firstly, the report gets a lot of contrast. If you look at the theme of the report itself, the report say, by the way, I'm not there for critique the report, not to criticize, because it gets so many other good aspects where I go to shout. But since Honorable Robin Falede on the line, I am not here to praise Caesar. So, if you look at the title of the report, and on my notes I call them a critical analysis on the 2025 Ministerial Performance Contract Report, themed Year of Action and Delivery. Usman, whose term the president been declared as a year of action and delivery? Now, who's year?
I think the year of action is not this year, early this year.
2026.
Yes.
And this report is themed for
2025.
So is this a reflection of the present? That is the first thing I pick first with the theme, because how can you have a new theme for an old report? Is it that the report is an updated version of already running into the new year, which cannot be, that is not the timeline for the report. The report says 2025. So I can give 2025 reports, 2026 right. Theme. So that's one aspect to pick up. But of course, like fabulous content for public discourse. And of course, like again, I say, again, we'll talk about the implementation of the Big Five, the MCD and UN development goal. Like every report, again, your merits and demerits, and it's important now that how credible the performance will then track and the outcome be.
You think these are just numbers? You think it's credible, given the fact you don't cite credible international sources, them reports them, where indicate for say a lot of Sierra Leoneans are food insecure, but the government saying 100% of the status objective for the Ministry of Agriculture was achieved just last year.
It's just not possible. It's just not possible. I will give 100% delivery, 100% pass to a delivery, to a sector where they struggle, where international indicators. I mean, Honorable Fale is my friend, but I have notes that can rubbish almost every aspect of this report. And let me just begin to take them one by one. It's not just about the WFP report contrasting it. If you look at the IMF report on corruption and the waste, it captures not only corruption, but corruption in key sectors like the mining sector, for example, within come out of. Can you say that it's not credible? Again, the report seems to give clean bill of health all through. How you go conduct exam all man pass? In common sense, it almost not make no sense. What's the essence of it?
Which ministry do you think say for fail in this?
Again, the argument goes in waiting and set for themselves. But I mean, the first ministry for fail like the Ministry of Finance. Look at compare and contrast with the MCC scorecard on economic freedom. We failed 8 out of 10 indicators. So they are the biggest failure if we are to use yardstick from which we all agree, arguably or not. So how can you reconcile that?
Finance go argue for say we get the inflation there at 4%.
Go and read the MCC in contrast. Go and look at government effectiveness. This government, I keep on saying, has never passed. So when they can give themselves pass, all man pass, then MCC will tell you say government effectiveness has been a consistent failure from APC to SLPP. SLPP now they pull chest and they fail. Ridiculous.
So if you go give the mark to the Ministry of Agriculture, what you go give the Ministry of Agriculture for last year?
It's a simple. It's called the doctrine of common sense. And if you look at this report, it's so technical that you are almost evasive of the doctrine of common sense, because it confines you to waiting then want for let you take away from the report. But it goes beyond that. So for the Ministry of Agriculture, what's the rates there?
They go pass?
Why therefore pass? Why therefore pass when indices that say we are food insecure? Why therefore pass? Where the bread and butter issue is still serious. Why therefore pass? Where cost of living is high. So I mean, it's just ties from economic from the finance ministry to the agriculture. Then, in the biggest irony, you mentioned the reduction in their allocation.
In the allocation.
But the report captures another aspect that talks about aid. And if let me go to my notes, our dependence on aid just clearly shows say we are not even ready yet for transform and bring development.
And even for the Ministry of Agriculture, for example, the minister was the other day in an interview saying that the allocation for the Tomabom Rice project all not come from international donors then.
So that just also contrasts the report, because this report they tell you, I want to be factual, appropriation in aid, the finding is quite interesting. This is my notes, that is point 5 on my notes. It says USD 0.88 billion, which is equivalent to, in loans, 19.96104 trillion are domestic revenue. So if you look at the domestic revenue generation of 21.1 billion, and waiting we depend on aid on, the difference so huge. So how can you say you are pushing national development and that development largely depends on aid? It just doesn't make sense. What if now we aid the dry up globally? Can you say it's sustainable development? It's not. So it just speaks again to the issue of poor economic management, budget deficits. If you have to depend on aid of 0.88 billion, which is 19 plus trillion, and domestic revenue at 21.1 billion euros, it just said the report first of all contradicts itself when it comes to giving pass to the Ministry of Finance or on the economic sanity, because it clearly states that revenue mobilization is not equal to waiting the come as aid compared to again waiting at the government's expenditure.
All right.
So that again the report exposes itself and the government's inadequacy.
Melvin, let's bring in Honorable Fale. Honorable, Melvin say if the government look at international, like the WFP reports on agriculture, we say most Sierra Leoneans are food insecure. You want to look at those international reports them in concluding this?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think these are some of the discussions we will need, in strengthening our democracy and also in strengthening our service delivery in other countries, in Australia. We also look at things from a diverse perspective with various lenses. I tell thank you to man, I don't sabiam for over years. And Melvin, I tell and thank you for NSSF observations and submissions. That's part of democracy. But what thing I try to talk about here is we not try to say that all is well. We not try to say that the sustainable development goal where we will use for capture inside a medium-term development plan, we don't achieve as a government, they don't achieve everything. That's not what this report is saying. The report they try to say is out of the sustainable development plan, from there we get the medium-term development plan. And inside that medium-term development plan, then try to see a work plan where in year out we will achieve small until we reach what we want to do. I'll give a classic example of where you go to school, you want to sit back there. That's JSS1, JSS2, JSS3. So what I try to say is from 2024, when I see the activities them, when I see how it been even difficult for we get, some of them consultation and engagement from the ministry departments and agencies because it was new at the end of the day. But the performance and the engagement and the support, it don't increase from 2024. The first one, 2024, they be see them as a bureaucratic formality. This will not be used to Rambo, will be identified also, say, capacity issues and did it. But when they don't make sure training, they don't happen this year, it don't increase in terms of contributions and performance and commitment to this process. So coming to the issue where Melvin talk about the theme of this particular one this year, a year of action. Yes, 2020, the previous one have been accelerated, delivery. But this one now is about action. So to me, I think this is the first time we don't begin see a government, they become very open. This one not ever been there. For me, they're in the public domain. They don't pull and say, now this would be say we go do for 2024, 2025. How would I see them? Waiting when I see.
All right.
So this one say the citizens SSF we will hold government to accountable. And we serve as a government, they may we will hold we serve accountable and check with them.
Honorable, look, move ahead. So another ministry, key ministry, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Just last year we see heavy gunfire happen na Yenga, for example. We also see the U.S. visa ban. We don't disrupt relations between America and Salone. How come the Ministry of Foreign Affairs scored 92%?
Perfectly. One of the ministries where, to be honest, as Sierra Leoneans, we will be proud of now what that ministry there. I tell thank you to the young man where they did. Very intelligent young man, very articulate, very diplomatic. President don't make any mistake. We don't put the political party lenses and let look at them. Minister from where we don't get ministers them at that ministry there would that really don't ever for add value. Look at how we did now in international, like ECOWAS, how we image they did. We go to African Union. How is our image there as Sierra Leoneans then? We come back again, we go to United Nations Security Council. How Sierra Leone don't move forward? That young man don't try. But coming to the issue here about the younger
the UN Security Council, we not go there in 2025. We not go in 2025. Yeah. It happened prior to the entirety of the metrics we use in concluding this report for last year.
Yeah, but all the build up upon for say yes, the engagement and way the ministry they do is very diplomatic. Look at what's happen now between Liberia and Guinea. Look at how we own happen between Sierra Leone and Guinea. We see say some man be one that will go fire to fire and use gun. But we use 11 years of brutal civil war as a classic example, say, not to all time that we're going to resolve issues with violence. Look at the diplomacy we then use, then go and investigate what is happening there. And look at what the government don't take to ECOWAS. For let we see, say, Guinea, now brothers them. Guinea, now we young people them. If Allah day, first day between we and Guinea today, now me and you go suffer. This agriculture back home, they talk about my food security today, it go suffer. The economy go down. The violence go down.
Honorable, I mentioned the heavy gunfire which displaced the majority of residents in Yenga just last year. During the cross-border tension between Salone and Guinea just last year. And one of the biggest news from the ministry now the US visa ban on Salone. We don't disrupt trade between the two countries in many ways.
Yeah, of course. You see, quite recently, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, you see where the minister go US for med and sit down and talk and discuss those issues. We all know down to would I say every go sit down end up down to how many people they don't get visa where they don't go there for go study no more they not come back. You know, all that thing, not to this government no more. Government go, then see be done the build up. We record the under. We need for clean certain issues.
But if we still continue, then it's the failure in the side of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. If we still continue 7 years under this government, it is a failure in the side of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
No, I think say we go really be dishonest a little bit. For put a sledge hammer and say that the ministry on a particular under this dispensation.
The oversight.
I don't serve these two governments. I've been fortunate for 20 good years I've been in government in this country, both at parliament and both in government. We all don't say not to today. People that don't go abroad, they don't refuse for come back. We have to be very honest with ourselves. But at the end of the day, if a problem has now been identified, we all don't know. Say now this is the problem. Government is still making an arrangement for engage the U.S. government. For let us, when they all see them say, what is Sierra Leone offer? What is they get in trade from here? What is we will benefit in terms of this relationship we would have?
Okay, honorable.
What's in our relationship with Guinea in terms of cross-border trade, in terms of security, in terms of other issues? These are our brothers. We go engage. When your brother vex by you for something, now for action what make you vex.
Let's bring in Melvin. Melvin, I just mentioned the two issues them in relation to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the border situation just last year. And by the way, there are still many residents who not return back home, Nayenga. And the US visa ban we see against Salone just last year. And according to government, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs score 92.8%. Well deserved?
Well, you ask yourself if you're gonna state out the website, waiting to be the target. Was that part of their key performance KPIs? Because easy for us to get around things that will not even be there around the KPIs. Because some of those issues were unforeseen, except for first the post-2023 election visa restriction, and later on, if you can, we'll discuss a lot about that, Trump in isolationist tariffs and visa restrictions will affect many countries around the world. Apparently, how we don't manage we way out compared, for example, like Ghana, has not been too very clear. But if you put that in comparison to the fact that Sierra Leone was chairing these major global entities,
how it benefits the country?
There are two strands of conversation. For the fact that the country was represented should be the first part of the conversation.
So how it benefits the country?
The country was represented.
How it benefits we?
It was the benefit there. It was the country was represented. So the fact that the records will show that many resolutions were attempted, for example, in Israel and Gaza, on Ukraine and Palestine. History will judge Sierra Leone as, oh, they made the efforts. So many other countries have presided over that chair. What's the difference they make? So let's not underestimate. It created an impact that we sat there and we can comport ourselves with foreign missions then cable for Dua. Other countries that backfire. Then we can come now to the second part, which is the economic or other benefits. Of course, you will argue around traveling expenditure, which this government has not been very blunt around, where I feel say the foreign ministry we don't do a very good work in terms of publishing the president, at least after how many trips they giving us all those details. So on the aspects of the visa ban, I think yes, I don't see much effort as to like for Ghana, how we go for commodity. But on the issue we got to do with Yanga, I will tell you, it all boils to not just a sovereignty, but the cowardice of institutions like the ECOWAS, like the MRU, because now the same year that we see where ECOWAS attempts to go inside Guinea, they were not allowed. Can you blame Sierra Leone for that? No. But now the same year back, you go blame Sierra Leone for one minister, Peggy, when the Deputy Foreign Affairs, they talk about taking the matter to the International Court of Justice, but yet still you got a government officials where they tell you, say, oh, we are exploring diplomacy. So on that issue of Yanga, I think the takeaway there is government inconsistency. I will agree with you, but largely there can be some takeaway. So in terms of rating the Foreign Affairs Ministry, I think roughly, I would have loved to give them 50, but I think 49.8.
So now you fail?
Yes.
The ministry last year failed in your own metrics.
I think so. In as much as they did very good, visible, optical things, but in terms of your subject matter, how much change it creates back home, they could have done better. That's not to say.
How about the Ministry of Transport and Aviation scoring 90.7%?
Ask myself, how comes? For example, now the year that we see the government under the IROMP project, mind you, I may get the Waka Fine Boss, and for the advent of the Waka Fine Boss, Usman, not forget, government been decide with the private sector, say certain routes then not for be trafficked by certain commercial vehicle. But at the year that we see that decision was reversed, and so ironically, some of the things that we promise that, oh, if we reduce congestion at the capital, if we reduce pollution, if we reduce other things like old vehicles traversing the streets, all of those things were reversed. So for me, that was the huge one. Looking at how the performance of particularly Waka Fine was, for me that was huge, because Waka Fine got a huge impact on waiting the government the purport action, the year of action. Waka Fine, no matter what you say, it contributed for ease some of the.
So well deserved 90.7%.
How can you give them 90.7? That is just one aspect. You get so many other aspects under the ministry where I will tell you, you get a lot of work for do. So Mina Wogi, Ministry of Transport and Aviation, mind you, aviation. We're not talking about the aviation sector, wherein we are still plagued with high ticket costs. Remember, wherein we are plagued with making people complain with high airport taxation,
yes,
which has nothing was done around that area, rather than that was the year also wherein we see the complexity of the contract itself was more complex. So for me, I will give them, at least, yes, they tried their best, but I will give Ministry of Transport and Aviation even a pass because they cannot manage the Waka Fine project. Right. What can you say about those other many other projects?
You see an upward trend in how justice is being delivered last year because the Ministry of Justice, according to the Chief Minister in office, scored 90.7%.
And if we look for these were underperforming. If you look at the last contract, by the way, waiting on Honorable Robbie File, not the first time to begin do performance contract. Performance contract we don't start from even under APC. Even when this government came in 2019, they attempted it. So it was like reinvigorating it when it became now 2024. All right, not a new thing. So on the aspect of justice, if you look at this government's own reports, the first report and the performance of that ministry, it was underperforming. So our man we fail. In fact, the report not get everything I fail. Like the first report is not get fail.
Perhaps it's because we get a new justice minister. The justice minister Alpha Cissé. Perhaps it's because a new leadership bring in.
But it's still the man. The problem we inherit for Donna.
Whose problem?
It's appetite. Enable Donna. If it be Donna, if it be say give and pass, he still wallows in the same things the way he inherits. Yes, of course, he is again Alexander David type. They are approachable, and of course, he's very clever and brilliant. He makes his case very convincingly. But the fact remains that then they boast of taking so many cabinet papers. They say 80 almost, 80, let me just be factual, 83 cabinet papers. How many of them are one for action with Robin Fale? How many of them don't see the light of day in a parliament? Because for cabinet position paper is one thing, but for it becomes a legislation is another thing. So that is the aspect when it comes to the Attorney General Ministry of Justice. A lot of agreements, mind you, they say 145 ministerial agreements. Agreements are not a new thing as alone. This government, previous governments have always entered into agreements. However, how people-centered have these agreements been? For example, the passport contract. Is that a people-friendly agreement? Again, you can see an inherited problem, but was any action taken to let's say, let the people, waiting the people they expect be done? You go again to the toll gates, to the toll road contract. Is that a people-friendly agreement? Where the one way they give the contract, not to disclose the base traffic data, just the increased price. Don't the agreement say you say for increase the tolling price be subjected to the flow of base traffic data. Do you call that a favor?
But so, because it's tied to the US dollar, if the dollar go up, then it means then gets for increase the
so it shows that these agreements were not in the first place drafted well. And who will blame? Now the Attorney General Ministry of Justice Office, because they are there for provide legal advice to governments, ministries, departments, and agencies as to how they go into agreements. How they go into agreements, you tie into US dollar. When a Leon CD do, where you get laws in a Sierra Leone talk about dollar, where they are against dollarization, but also where they promote the local currency.
All right.
So who does that? It's the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General's office. So when I talk about boasting of having many agreements, I ask myself, are people friendly agreements or are just pro government pro max agreements?
Okay.
89 cabinet papers. How many of them Honorable Fale don't turn law?
All right, Melvin, let's go to another ministry, the Ministry of Basic Education. This is one of the flagship of President Bill, but we see it not perform well compared to most other ministries them, where they in the 90s. It scored 62.8%, basic education. And
you look at it again, it's not be them in the end, then key performance indicators based on which they don't perform. But one thing we are see oblivious from this very academic report is the fact that it seems not for countenance the fact that the timely allocation of budgetary allocation to these ministries and the impact we then get on them KPIs. Because if you are giving that ministry that kind of rating and you give other people a 90, then for me, some of the KPIs we maybe look for is the aspect that has got to do with payment of school subsidies. Because it is very clear in the common man perspective that this is one issue we don't affect that sector. Schools are always complaining about this, but yet still they are failed, and that aspect of impediment is being ignored. I think that is unfair. It's very, very unfair. Yes, that is not to say that ministry is not getting challenges with, they call it free quality education, but people are going to pay money, they're going to do price list, defeating the whole nomenclature of the idea itself. But to have ranked them that level, compared to the other ministry that they give 90s, it's unfair. Maybe not because they be saying another day again.
But this is not the actual percentage we don't forget, 62%.
I think they should be averaged. They should be averaged. I mean, if
how
you look
much
at
you go rate them for last year?
for the fact that then the same Ministry of Finance not they give them money on time, how do you expect them to perform their KPIs?
All right, Melvin, on the issue of energy, last year we see the total blackouts of Freetown by car powership, and there's still issues with car powership. Government paying car powership in full. The government still owes car powership over $80 million. At a time like this, the Chief Minister office saying the Ministry of Energy score 66%. You think there have been improvements in energy?
And if they give them 45 safe, I'm sorry.
What do you could give them?
I say if we give them 45 safe in the fail category, I'm sorry, then go there around 35 to 45.
They failed last year?
I think so. Look at the the baton race at its leadership. Look at the several attempts and botched occurrences around the so-called international agreement that was supposed to have aided the country. Look at the government's or its partners' inability to still accomplish the MCC $480 million project. And look at the fact that Epic right now a generator with the run, although not last year report, but instead they don't get this year team, so we can mix last year and this year. The reality there is the problems around electricity still exist. Local and international reports to tell you that. And you usually say, giving them pass, what you see about the reports in rhetoric now that the government they do well. You don't expect person in mama and mates for marking paper, but at the same time, you don't go expect a man for be a judge in his own cause. So this is like telling Sierra Leoneans that the government did do well. But I wonder, again, if you look at the report, I ask myself, what's the margin of error?
Is the government not doing well?
Is the government doing well?
Is government not doing well?
Is the government doing well?
No, I ask you if you
the answer to your question is my question. Is the government doing well?
If you question the performance of government entirely, is the government not doing well?
If the government is doing well, why should we be in food insecure? If the government is doing well, why corruption is rife according to the IMF? If the government is doing well, why is MCC saying it has failed consistently on governance effectiveness? And you expect me to come and say the government is doing well? This government is underperforming. You like it or not, the ordinary man at the street, it says the government is underperforming. Be the SLPP or APC, that the one thing anyone don't see, don't cross across the line now. My way, if you say the way that's all can do polo, the way and still you say things are not as we expect them to be. And the fact I use underperforming, the fact remains that the government made manifesto promises where ultimately all these performance contract boils around the government meeting its social contract. So go to the manifesto. Famble not to rocket science, because until you go straight, if you go to the State House websites and see what the KPIs, where some of them very inconsistent to rating the report they can show. I don't want for good. David Senga is my friend. But the fact here remains the government is underperforming. And this report attempts to downplay that. It's so unfortunate.
If government is underperforming, this 78% overall score for ministries, this is just figures on paper, not realities on the ground. The report
itself contradicts itself. I'm not that maths kind of guy, but when I do me own checking, bing, 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 in my bad crew, the maths seemingly not add up. The government, at the quote report, say an overall performance of 78%. But if you tie that to, if they also said ministries achieved 68%, partially achieved 22%, and failed to achieve 16% of their target, which adds to 100%. Correct by the chief minister, who is very data centric. Then 16% plus 22% constitutes 38%. So if you do the maths now, Fambula will not sabi maths. If you say overall 78%, then if you minus the one where you do, where you partially you do 22%, and the one where you 16%, Fambula, I don't know, maybe. Usman, maybe, I don't know, but maybe my math is not. So the report, I think, in that light, contradicts itself by
right.
the way of things where they say partially done and not done versus the entire wholesome game. Let Fambul and do the maths. I think I stand for better education.
All right, Melvin, let's go now for a very short break. It's still with the Epic Morning Show on Epic Radio 99.3 FM. After this short break, 079 994 993.
Some moments can call for calm, others can demand for energy. And with Carel, you get the best of the two worlds. For tea lovers them, Carel Aroti Premium Blend, they deliver true quality in
Epic
every
Radio.
cup. It's if they come out from high mountain area there. This premium black tea, strong, natural, and full of character. It go give you one different taste and fresh feeling. We go deal with you all day. With 100 tea bag na every pack, you go always get more for enjoy and safe for share. Carel Aroti, feel the freshness of nature in every sip. And when you need energy for power you day, just take Aro Cafe. Made from 100% pure premium coffee. Aro Cafe, rich and gets fine smell. One cup will help you stay energetic and active all day. Quick for share and good for any time and any size. Two great choices and one trusted name. Carel with a bring premium tea and